What are we doing here? You know the slogan. You know where you heard it from. Huh? You subscribe though. See what I did there? Come on, man. Nah, but magic round here, you know. Thank you to everybody that's subscribed. Keep forwarding. Let's get to 20k. I know we just touched 10. Let's touch 20. It's just like the trap. When you touch your first 10, you want your first 20. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense. Big up to everybody that's endorsing it as well. I see you. I see everybody in the comments, from the Instagrams to the TikToks to the YouTubes. I love you lot in the YouTube comments though. You lot are foul. All sorts of disrespect. You lot are foul, you know. You're entitled to your opinion. Do you get what I'm saying? So, if you look back on my segments, I think this is segment 66 or 67, if I'm not mistaken. I've spoken about my mother in a sense of like using the 4-letter word. I don't really use it. I've opened up to you as to why, or my traumas of it, or, you know, go back and check it out. I've spoken about my daughter, who is autistic. You know, blessed to have her. Wouldn't change her for the world. That's there. Today, I want to talk to you about the absence of a father, because it's very, very important for any child to have their father in their life, present in their life. Because there's in their life and then there's present in their life. There's two sides to that coin. You lot do know that, right? I know a bag of the baby mums right now saying, sitting up straight, locking in. What's he gonna say? Yeah, talk your stuff. I see you. I got you, man. I know. But for me, raised with my mother, having no father figure present was tough, man. And then so many of us go through it. I wouldn't even like to guess the percentage of those that was raised with no father. I know someone knows detail. Let me know in the comments what that is. But geez, like, the importance of it, man. When I think back to like having no father figure, I just think about being lost, bro. And that might sound crazy to you because, of course, every son loves their mother to bits. However, there comes a stage where you need that advice from your father, man. You know what I'm saying? Down to the littlest things. I probably wouldn't have this beard if maybe I had my father in my life. And you might say, Clue, what are you talking about? Bro, I remember being 15. You know, you start with a little idiot goatee or the one little tin line, and yeah, you grew up with a white mother, so you know the big races are local, and you say, bro, let me just, crazy, let me just, yeah, remove all sorts of nonsense, you know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, things are just growing wild, and you're like, get rid of that again. Simple things. Bad man, don't shave. Yeah? Leave your one little something, man, gracefully. Gracefully. Because then you just grow up to have, yeah, all sorts of, yeah. So everybody. So down to the littlest things like that. I remember like, so my father was kind of like present at my birth. I don't recall too much after that, man. The only time I recall after that was when he came to, you know when the belt came out, and you know what I mean? You know, the time when your mum knew like you've gone too far now, bad man. You think, say, you're the man round there, and she still got his number in the phone, and then Tutu's Donny's at the door, and you're thinking, bro, what are we doing here? And then next thing you're talking about, forward. Bad man, you haven't been around here for years, and you're telling me to forward. Where are we forwarding to? Remember, I'm like 12, something like that, 13. I forwarded in the room, thinking I was ready for whatever war we was going to do, throw up our fists, whatever. Let's get busy. And then he started picking out all sorts of metal. All sorts of leather things. And as crazy as that sounds, I know. I see belts. A man told me, pick one. The disrespect, the man. Man told me to pick one. God, I need a second still. Trauma. At that point, I was still thinking, what we doing there? Pick a belt, bad man. I like the look of this belt here, you know. You trying to put it with your fit and that. I see you. Yeah, take this one here, bad man. Yeah? And then what happened next has got to be some kind of charge. Yeah? Straight. I don't talk to police, but that has to be some kind of charge. Yeah? All sorts of styles and, yeah? Pain. Trauma. Okay, bad man. And then you had the cheek to leave. Right. So you forwarded all sorts of disrespect and then you left. And then it's like he wasn't seen again. And I feel like that's what made me have some form of hatred towards my mother over the years growing up. Maybe even till now still. I still get vexed certain times and I think, right, I remember when you let my man forward round here tell me about pick out what kind of belt, like it was for his fit. And I'm there telling man, pick out this one there, and then that one there is the same one that caused me some kind of trauma. But all right. My point is, I never really saw my dad after that, you know. So when I think about having someone there in your corner that you can go to, you can't always go to your mum and have them discussions. Something might happen to you at school. You want to know how to handle it. You don't want to ask your mum. She's going to tell you the softest way. Leave it alone. Go to the teacher. I want to hear all that. Yo, pops, you're going to get some real ear what? Yeah? Cool. So that starts to build you up a little. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that you got someone in your corner. You know, like, mum would always tell man when we were young, you know, like if you come home and you had a fight or she might feel like you've lost. Back outside until you win that. Respect her for that. But your father, you know, he's saying, yo, we're forwarding. It's all about confidence, bro. Self-esteem building, all sorts of things. I never had that. And I feel like that's why I am how I am. No one to come. My mum was always at my football matches, bro. Love her for that. Love her to bits. But I'm saying, as a boy turning into a man, you would love to see your father at your football matches. No? Of course you would. Because all I think about now is if I had a son, what? Football and even if he's not into that, whatever he is into, I'm there, bro. You want to go and do what? I'm there, bro. We're going to that together. Same kit, all sorts of things. What's good? So when I think of mine, I just think like, yes, the times were different. Yes, they probably had their reasons. Or he may... See, one thing I do know growing up as a man, with women, there's always going to be complications, disagreements. And some of us, we don't forward back from them disagreements. And I think that's why I needed to make this segment today, because I'm more talking to people of my age, even younger, that have children, that have boys. I'm assuming, and it's dangerous to assume, my father probably had bare arguments with my mum. And then maybe thought, you know what, I don't need this stress. I'm going over here with my other 10 youths. So what I blame him for is you bailed out, bro. You bailed out. I understand, like, not everybody's going to get along, but you can make things, you can co-parent, you can coexist with the woman that's had a child for you. all right, we're not getting along, but still, weekends or half term or whatever, if he's got something going on, let me know. I'm gonna forward. I'm gonna take him to that. I'm gonna take him to that boxing, rugby, football. Do you know what I'm saying? Like normal. It's like there's no normality no more. So my father wasn't present, absent, bro. So if you have children, if you have boys especially, I'm talking to the man them, the brothers, the bros, the folks. You may get into arguments with the mother of your child. She may have caused some devastating things in the household. Next man chatting to a man you don't get on with, she's chatting. I could understand why you would say, nah, man, I'm out of here. But if you have a son with her, obviously a daughter too, don't bail out on your son, bro. He didn't ask for this, bro. He's looking at you like, what we doing here? Dad, what we doing here? So you lot are arguing, you're cutting, not coming back because of mum. What about me though? And what we don't sometimes think about is the after effects of that. So look, just to read something, which I'm sure you all know already, but growing up without a father figure can lead to significant emotional and behavioral impacts. That's me. It's over, buddy. They're talking about me. I know I don't feel entitled and, bro, emotional and behavioral impacts, bro. Yeah? Including increased risk of depression. I was in the can, behind them steel gates, hella depressed. Low self-esteem, behavioral issues like aggression or rebelliousness. What are we doing here? That's man. How much of the man them watching this are going to say, well, that's man. And salute to you if your father's still in your life and you was raised with him. Cool. You still got them traits there, bad man? It's over, buddy. But for me, this makes sense, bro. This makes perfect sense. Like, immediate impacts, emotional, behavioral, vulnerabilities. Bro, like I told you, there was a stage in secondary school I felt like I was getting leaned on. I didn't like it. I couldn't come home to my mum and tell her. What's mum going to do? What, maybe phone the school? Maybe tell you to move school? Maybe tell you talk to your teacher? That's not the answer sometimes, you know? You have to stand tall. Do you get what I'm saying? You gain a lot of respect by standing tall, even if you fall. You know? Less is more. But look, bro, even family and relationships, that's a long-term consequence. Education, risky behavior. Man's out here in these streets risking man's freedom, man's life. Why? How much of us that are doing that have our fathers at home? I'd love to know. So you see the importance of an absent father, bro. Every young man needs their father in their life, bro. It doesn't matter about what's going on with the mother, bro. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than you. You know? They talk about coping and creating a support system, finding positive role models. Now look, when you're growing up on them estates, even in some of them streets that you're in a house on, you ain't got a father figure. Who are the role models you look to? 9 times out of 10, it's your older brethren. The man them that's on the block already, that's older than you. You know what they're up to. You know what they're doing. How much of us follow the brother that's doing football, that's training every morning? And that might happen now. Back in our day, that wasn't happening then. Who's billing the loud? Who's linking up with Om Gal over there? And them man there. Yeah, man need to be with them man there. Trust me. Yeah? Them man, they've got Avrex jackets and all sorts of things. All sorts of quids. Audi TTs, bad man. Yeah, you see that one there? Well, you didn't see him pull up and then him pull up. We need to be with them. That's not always the way, bro. But we don't know no better. It says it right there. We're looking for role models. Is that why some of us even go into gangs? That feeling of security and we feel safe amongst our brothers. Do you know? So I say that to say, it's deeper than that, bro. It's deeper than that, bro. There was another stat somewhere that was crazy and I had to laugh. It was something along the lines of like, people raised without a father. What was it? I don't want to paraphrase it, but long story short, you're going to struggle with long-term relationships. Bad man. Hello? What we doing there? So I say that all to say, look, no matter what you got to do, go through just to be there for your child, especially if you got a son, bro. Be there, bro. It's important. Get to my age and you still feel these kind of emotions, you still go through these kind of things, these cycles, have these feelings, bro. That's not cool, bro. Yeah, man's built different, no problem. But it's not the life. I wouldn't want my son to raise how I was raised, bro. Imagine your son feeling lonely, you don't even know. You just think he's good because he's with his mum. Your son wants to chat to you, but you don't even know because you don't even find out. He's got my number now, man. He's a big boy. What? But bro, before we get to him having your number, bad man, what about the times that he just wanted to go to the park? That's free. Don't cost no quids. Bad man, he just wants a pizza and ice cream. You know? So yeah, man. Don't let your son down is what I'm saying to you, because I know my father let me down. My father's not alive no more, so he can't even make it right. I probably wouldn't even want him to make it right. How about that? You don't want to be that guy with your son looking at you like, I don't even want to know you. I don't even rate you. Nothing worse than your child telling you, I don't even rate you. I don't even like you. You know? So the absence of a father is real. That's real trauma. That's real PTSD. Shout out to my real fathers that are out there doing amazing things for their children, whether they're with the mother or not, whether they've moved on and got a new life or not, but they're still standing strong. They're standing on 10. It's always a salute from me, bro. You get what I'm saying? Because trust me, it's needed, man. It's vital, you know? So I hope you lot can relate. Leave it all in the comments. It's the landing, man. You never know what we might talk about.
Call me Saint Nick. Caesar with me too. Going ape shit. Gorillas in the zoo. We had to break shit.